Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Welcome to this episode of Am I the Asshole? Our first one is from My Last Name Be Cake. Am I the asshole for calling out my brother's comments to my niece in front of all of his children? My 25 female brother, B 39 male, came over to my mom's for his birthday last week. He brought over my sister-in-law, 36 female, their 3 children, M female 11, Z female 9, and N 3 male. I've done the whole buffet of food and had probably gone a bit OTT, but we don't see each other as often as I'd like, and it was a celebration. Everyone loved the food and everyone ate their fill, but B kept calling out M. He kept making disapproving comments, telling her to slow down and asking her if she was going back for more. When she grabbed herself a second cupcake, he said, "Put that back, little piggy." She put it down and it looked like she was going to cry. She then went and sat in a corner away from everyone and wouldn't really engage in anything after that, despite me trying to get her to join in. B, Z, and N all had multiple cupcakes, and it really bothered me he'd called M out. I put some leftovers into boxes for them to take home, and told M that I'd put an extra cupcake in there for her. B's response was, "She doesn't need it. Look at her, the little porker." M isn't fat. She's put on some weight recently, but in the way kids do before they have a massive growth spurt. I told B he was going to give her a complex, and I told him that comments like that lead to disorders. He said that he was just looking out for his kids. I'm not a parent. I don't understand that he needs to teach them to be healthy. I said as long as you have balance, you can eat like this sometimes. He looked uncomfortable and tried to lighten the mood with, "Well, at least she'd be skinny." And my response is the reason I think I am the asshole. I said, "Yeah, maybe she'll be so skinny, she'll be dead." Everyone went quiet, apart from my youngest 2 nibblings, who were tormenting my cat under the table. They took their leftovers and went. B sent me a text later saying he was really mad about the way I handled things. I shouldn't have questioned his parenting, and that he's considering if I should be at his wedding. My sister-in-law hasn't commented, and I've not responded to my brother. Mom thinks I was an asshole, but my heart is in the right place. Note, my brother has never struggled with an eating disorder, whereas I've had troubles with eating since I was 12, so this is a sensitive subject. Am I the asshole for calling him out like that? I don't think you're the asshole at all, especially if you state that you've had first-hand experience with an eating disorder. All you're trying to do is help your brother so that way your niece stays healthy. That's what he's trying to do. I do know sometimes the truth hurts and it's hard for people to accept though. You're still not the asshole. This next one is by Cheapsil. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister-in-law use my wedding dress for her wedding, even though she can't afford one? My 28 female younger brother, 24 male, and his fiance, 23 female, are supposed to get married in the spring after being engaged for about a year. My younger brother has always been the golden child between the both of us to my mom, not my dad. Him and his fiance currently live with her, rent-free might I add. My dad and I, on the other hand, have mixed feelings about this wedding. We both feel like my brother is rushing into things and not being financially smart. He just finished his bachelor program a year ago and is still trying to get on his feet and find a good full-time job in his field, and decides to spend thousands of dollars on a wedding? We sat him down and explained this to him and asked him what the rush was. Why not push it off for a few years and save up so you guys can have the wedding of your dreams? He explained to us that his fiance wants the wedding as soon as possible and doesn't want to wait. Well, his fiance's family is pitching in a couple thousand for the wedding. My dad reluctantly is pitching in a couple thousand as well. All important later. Well, a few nights ago, I'm eating dinner with my husband when I get a call from my future sister-in-law. Conversation starts out normal. "Hey, how are you? Shitty weather we're having," etc., etc. Until she tells me she has a serious question to ask me. She asks me if she can use my wedding dress that I wore to my wedding just over a year ago. She explains that she can't afford one herself, that she absolutely loves mine, and that it would be her something borrowed. I immediately shut her down and said, I'm sorry, but no. This is a thousands of dollars dress we're talking about. That she'd have to get it altered to fit her, by the way, too. So no way. We're also not even close at all and barely talk, so like, what the fuck? She starts begging and even crying and going on about how she can't afford one. I told her I'm sorry, but no. She then starts going on about how I'm not even financially helping her and my brother pay for the wedding, so the least I can do is let her use my dress. I told her the honest truth, that I think they're rushing into having a wedding and not being financially smart. She said she didn't care. She has a timeline and wants to be married by 25. I basically told her that she made her bed, so now she has to lie in it and figure it out herself. And if she can't afford her wedding dress, then she shouldn't be having a wedding. Simple as that. She ran back to my mom and brother to tell them what I said. They think I'm an asshole because I have the money to financially help my brother and his fiancée, but I'm being selfish and unsupportive. They also think it's just a dress, so what's the big deal? My dad is on my side and defending me and is now thinking of taking back his financial help due to the sheer audacity of my brother's fiancée asking me such a thing. The way the sister-in-law tries to shame this OP over this wedding dress because they didn't contribute financially to their wedding is just absolutely ridiculous. And then on the fact that they've actually got family members calling them an asshole because they don't want to give up their wedding dress. What the fuck? The OP is definitely not the asshole. And our final one is from Accomplished Bar 5656. Am I the asshole for suing my parents for my college money? My great-aunt set up savings accounts for all of her female relatives. In our culture, education for women is not really valued, and she thought that was bullshit. She lived with her father in London, where she was educated. She went on to attend university and became a doctor. She married a British man. They moved to America and had a great life. She funded the education of as many of her nieces and grandnieces as she could. When she passed away, she left money for every girl relative she could. My parents managed to access the accounts that were set up for my sister and I. They used it to pay for my brother's wedding. My sister didn't care because she got married 2 years out of high school and had no intention of going to college. When I graduated, I went to the bank to get money for school and it was almost all gone. There was like $13,000 left. I asked my parents about it and they said they had needed the money. I finally found out where all the money went. I got furious. I got student loans and moved out. I am a great source of shame to them and I don't give two fucks. I'm currently suing them for the money that was left for me. My entire family is against me. They all think I'm a complete asshole for airing private family business in public, and that I'm putting money ahead of my family. My friends are all on my side, but they are all Americans and don't really get my culture. Neither do I, to be honest. My brother called me up and offered to pay for my university if I dropped the lawsuit. I agreed as long as we had a legally binding contract. He said I was being an asshole for not trusting him. I said he should have not accepted my money for his wedding. It is causing all kinds of embarrassment for our community. And I'm somewhat ashamed for doing this, but I don't want to have this debt I should not have. They outright stole money from you. The real assholes are the ones that are going to get pissed off when they get called out for pulling this shit. And it seems like your brother, as well as your parents, are the real assholes in this story. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Am I the Asshole? If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, Thanks to my patrons. Have a great day and stay safe out there.